Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk Show with yours truly, Waylon Lewis, coming to you live from my living room in Boulder, Colorado. Today we're here to talk about something that we all go through, which is burnout, and we're also going to talk about something we all go through, which is everyday depression, as opposed to the clinical variety of depression, which is obviously very serious and generally needs formal medical care. So first we'll talk about burnout. Burnout often is as simple on some level as focusing on something for a long time to the point where you no longer can focus on anything. And there's sort of an emotional component that comes up where you just feel out of it, you feel dumb, you can't focus, and at least personally, there's some sort of emotional component of sadness or just feeling lost or separate from life. So the way I'm kind of an expert in burnout because I'm an entrepreneur and I've run Elephant for 12 years, and I go through burnout all the time. I work too much, I sleep too little, and that's an important point. I'm going to talk about some solutions for burnout, but first of all, things that will cause burnout are focusing on any one thing for too long instead of sort of switching it up. But on the other hand, not multitasking all the time and giving yourself one focus, another focus, another focus with little breaks in between. The old cigarette break actually in some ways is wonderful because it gives you 5 minutes outside to really breathe. Unfortunately, you're breathing smoke, and that's not great for you. But if you can kind of take healthy cigarette breaks that don't involve cigarettes, go for a little run, walk around the block. I like to work in cafes. New York Times did a great article about how working in cafes is really good mentally because there's that little background noise. You can still focus, but your mind is continually very slightly distracted, and that movement of the mind from focus to distraction keeps it from focusing too hard, too fully for too long, which enables us, ironically, to work harder and longer. So for the entrepreneur's sort of attitude, which I've had for years, that you don't have time to exercise, you don't have time to meditate, you don't have time to see friends, you don't have time for a relationship, you don't have time to get out in nature, remember that taking care of the machine that is you, eating good food, will help you work harder, longer, and better and smarter. And the kind of ideas and inspiration that are behind good, successful entrepreneurs is lost when we're burnt out. All right, so a few specifics. Specific salves for burnout. Number one, water. Whether it's salt water like the ocean, taking a bath, even just taking a shower to wake up, hot tub, anything like that. Water has a way of really relaxing us. Going for a vigorous swim. Intimacy, not sexual intimacy, but cuddling, talking with a good friend, hanging out with your dog, getting a massage, sleeping in the fetal position, getting all cozy, watching a movie, and maybe even going for a hike by yourself or with a dear friend to a beautiful spot with a beautiful view really opens you up and reconnects you to, regrounds us. Exercise that you enjoy. That's a key qualification. Don't just go for exercise. Go for exercise that you enjoy. I love climbing. And for me, this would also include my commute. So if you can get outside of your car, which is kind of a bubble, often a mindless bubble, you're listening to the radio, whatever, and bicycle or walk, and where you're seeing trees and fresh air and you're moving, your heart is pumping, that can be really key. If you can make your commute the highlight of your day instead of something you're just trying to speed through. Meditation, very simple, non-new agey meditation. Focus on your breath, have a good relaxed posture, and when you find yourself thinking, bring yourself back to the breath again and again. Help rest in the present moment. Community. If you can be connected with the community, go work in a cafe again, go to a farmer's market, Go out with friends. It doesn't have to involve a lot of alcohol, but any just kind of reconnecting with people, and they'll ask, how are you? And you're like, oh, I'm, when you're burned out, you can't even say how you are. After you see like 10, 12 people and they're all talking to you, eventually you'll start opening up and relaxing, and a sense of humor will return. And you'll be more over your problems instead of sort of more under your problems. I think unplugging, turn off your Wi-Fi at night, turn off your cell phone, go for a hike, get out in nature, get some fresh air. Getting outside and unplugging is huge. Finally, sex with someone you love, whether that's yourself or your partner or someone. As they say in Buddhism, sex is one of the 3 moments where it's easiest to attain enlightenment. The others are, we'll make another video on those, but the others are death, which is a little less sexy, and sneezing, ironically, which is kind of funny. But orgasm is a moment where obviously you kind of, like in a good symphony, you build up a lot of intensity and then you kind of let it go. So it's a very easy way to let go. On the other hand, if you have no one to have sex with and you're sick of having sex with yourself, you can make friends with being lonely and alone, and that can be actually really fun and powerful. So that covers burnout. In terms of depression, we don't really have time to focus again on clinical depression, and that's not something that a YouTube video can really help us with, but there are what we call 5% solutions for depression. So everyday depression, non-clinical, little things that might help us just a little bit, but you add them all up and maybe that's going to make a big difference in your day. A lot of these are repetitious, but again, really wonderful and key. So stop surfing the web, stop surfing Reddit or Elephant or Instagram or some web app or video games. Often just unplug, just getting outside. Again, there's nothing pejorative. All those things are fine and they're great and fun. And if they are fun, great, do them. But often you just need a break. Get outside, fresh air, moving your body, and even just looking at the leaves on a tree for a while or a snowfall, just being present with nature is very powerful antidote to everyday depression. Touching in with a sentient being, whether it's an animal or a friend, again, hugging, talking, connecting with community, just communicating about what you're going through is huge instead of being closed and feeling isolated. Music, singing, often there's a reason the blues work. If you can sing when you're sad or depressed, that can be very powerful. Dancing obviously is super fun, sometimes intense, heavy metal, rock, whatever. Just get it out is fun. And I think most importantly here, again, we've already mentioned meditation, but trying to avoid the traps that can kind of suck us down and keep us, the little rubber ducky that is our soul underwater. So avoid the things, whether it's sex addiction or porn or picking your zits or eating way too much or eating way too little or again, being online or ice cream or watching too much TV forever. Whatever your habitual patterns are, we all know what our own habitual patterns are. Trying to just do something different. Often that could begin with one deep breath in and out, and then try and do some of those positive things. So thank you. I hope this has been at least slightly helpful. Again, I'm someone who goes through a lot of burnout, and I feel mild depression at least once a week. And if I don't apply these salves, apply these helps, I can be sucked down for the better part of a day. And obviously, many people deal with a lot harder situation. So my empathy and love to all of you. So thank you so much. As always, you can find us on Walk the Talk Show, on Elephant Journal, on youtube.com/Waylon H. Lewis, and SoundCloud. Thank you.